Hello and welcome to Symbols of Spring. Today we're going to be painting butterflies. So for this project you're going to need something to draw with, some paper, your paintbrush and paint, a cup of water, a paper towel, and a special tool, a white crayon. We're going to use the white crayon to mark off areas of our painting that we want to stay white. And for the paper, I cut mine into 4.5 by 6 inch cards to make it a little easier to work on. Alright, so first we're going to draw our butterflies, but we always got to write our name first. I like to put it in the bottom corner there. And I'm going to start my butterfly with some circles, or maybe slightly oval shapes. I'm going to start my second circle so it's right here touching my first circle. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Go back and erase. That's why we start with pencil. And I make my smaller circles right here. And then I'm going to use an oval in the middle for the body of the butterfly. And a little circle for the head. And 2 long lines for the antenna. And next we're going to add some flowers. Oh, we talked about how to add flowers before, so I guess that you will be an expert at this by now. So you can put your flowers in wherever you want. I just like to fill up some of my space so that my picture is not too empty. And put a flower up here in this corner. Make a different style. Don't forget the stems to your flowers. Maybe some leaves too. I use ovals or leaf shapes. There we go. Alright, so I think I'm ready to start painting next. Got my picture ready. Time to add color. So, this is how I've got mine set up. I put my paint at the top. My cup and my brush and my paper towel are on the left side because I'm left-handed. And whenever I'm not using my brush, it's going to rest on that paper towel. But I always like to start with my lightest color first, and in this case, that is white. So I'm using my white crayon to color the petals of this flower because I want that flower to stay white. And if there's anything else you want to do, like put designs on your butterfly or other spots of your picture that you want to stay white, you can do that now with your crayon. Right, and then when I'm ready to start, I get my brush wet first, get my paper towel ready. Then I load up my brush with some color. I'm going to start with my next lightest color, which is yellow. I think my butterfly is going to be mostly yellow here. Put down some yellow. You might be wondering, why do we start with the lightest colors first? Well, it's because if you make a mistake with a light color, you can cover it up later with a darker color. Get a little more paint on here, make my yellow brighter. So there we go. We start pushing around the paint. When I'm using my yellow, if I want it to be dark, I add a little more paint. If I want it to be lighter, I dip my brush back in the water to make it lighter. Let's see. A lot of yellow on these flowers. There we go. Spread that yellow around. Now I'm going to rinse out my brush by swiping it on the bottom of the cup. Then I test it on my paper towel to make sure that it's empty before I grab another color. And now I'm going to add some designs with orange. You could use a different color if you want. I'm also going to try to make sure that my designs look the same on both wings, because butterflies tend to be symmetrical when they have patterns on them. They look the same on both wings. Add some extra dots here. And what else do I want to make orange? I'm going to make these flowers kind of orange. It blends together pretty well. Get some more paint on my brush. There we go. Starting to look nice and bright. And I'll add orange to these flowers too. They're going to be kind of yellowish orange. I think that'll look nice. If your paint gets too wet, you can always dab it with your napkin, and that will take up some of the water, but also some of the color, so it's a little bit like an eraser. Alright, now my brush is rinsed out. I'm going to try green. Put my green in. There we go. The leaves and the stems will be green. Add some extra leaves down here. Remember, if you want your colors to be more vibrant, just touch your paint again with your wet brush. That will load up the brush with color. Alright, now it's time to rinse it out. Again, I'm not smashing my brush into the cup, I'm just swiping it along the bottom. Alright, now I'm going to add red. I'm going to actually make my sky red, but I'm going to use some water to make it more of a pink color than a straight up red. I want to have a pinkish sky. So I'm going to add extra water. There we go. Spread around that red so that it looks more pink. There it is, very red, but I'm going to spread it out so that it is thinner and pinker. There we go. Spread this paint around. There we go. Get into those tiny little cracks, those tiny little spaces. This might take a while. This is going to take some patience, but I think you'll be happy with it when it's done. If you take your time, try to get it as nice as you can. I might have too much water here. I might need to dab that with my napkin. There we go. There we go. Spread it around. It's looking nice. Looks a little cloudy. That's all right. And this is going to take the longest. Filling up your background is the longest part. Now, I could have cut this out of the video, but I wanted to give you an idea of about how long it will take you to do this. This is actually faster than it would take me in real life because I sped up the footage just a little bit. But it gives you an idea of how much effort you got to put in when you use paint. Paint is really fun, but it does require more effort. You have to try a little bit harder when you use paint, or at least I do. Maybe some people think paint is really easy. I think it's fun, but it's a little tough, a little hard. Gotta get my paint in this little spot, in between the flower and the leaf, in between the petals. Now the petals are staying white, and I don't have to worry too much about going over the petals with my brush because I use the white crayon on those petals, those flower petals, and the paint won't stick to them even if I accidentally paint over some of it. The white crayon will keep the paint from sticking to that part of the page, so it will stay white. I have to hold my paper still with one hand while I paint with the other hand. You might find that your paper wants to slide around the table while you're working on it. You gotta hold it steady. There we go. Alright, almost done. Just getting close to finished here. Get inside these little areas. Don't want to leave any empty spaces. No accidental empty spaces, that is. Go. Just got a couple more spots left to go with my pink. Oof, that's very red. Spread it around, spread it around. Ooh, a little dab there. All right. Right, that's pretty good. Now I've still got to fill in the body of my butterfly, so I'll get that last after I'm done with this pink. Rinse out my brush carefully. Load up my paint. I'm using brown on this little butterfly body. There we go. That's pretty good. I use a tiny little bit of black and gently make these antennae. Just use the tip of the brush. There we go. I feel pretty good about that. There you go. There's my butterfly. Don't forget to rinse out your brush. Let it dry while sitting up so that the bristles don't get smushed. There we go. Well, I hope you have something you're proud of, and I can't wait to see what you make. Bye for now.